GTA 4 is not nearly as good as San Andreas.
Of course it is!
Of course it is! Of course it is! Of course it is! Of course it is!
Okay, we're back to the scene. Nobody missed us, but I don't give a fuck. So here we are. What is it?
GTA.
GTA. Okay.
Is GTA 4 better than San Andreas?
Hell no!
Well,
No.
first of all, we have to clarify things. We've got different opinions.
His is wrong, mine is right. But he wants to discuss about it, so...
I wanted to tell the people everyone is entitled to his or her opinion.
And you want to upload this on the internet. You know the internet is full of trolls, idiots, jackasses.
I believe in the good of humanity.
Good luck, pal.
Okay, let the discussion begin.
My opinion.
Yeah, I would first of all bring the wrong and end it with the right. But please, at once.
Just an asshole. Do you think this is better than San Andreas? And awesome, I think no. Because it is more adult-like. I mean, they have a lot of hard topics to discuss here, but I think it's a lot more far stretched out. He always looked for someone, Nico, and then like, yeah, do missions for us, we help you. Do missions for us, we help you. And that for 90 boring missions and almost nothing happens. I just found it boring. I mean, eventually you see this guy you need, but it just takes far too long to get to him.
Okay, I've read in the forums that many people support your opinion.
Yeah, because they are smart.
Okay.
Okay, it's a discussion. Continue.
Okay, and I believe you need to get the big picture in this case. Look, you've got GTA San Andreas. We know how the graphics were. They were kind of, you know, comic-y.
The graphics is not the biggest strength of the GTA series.
Yeah.
I have to be honest.
And, of course, the graphics in GTA San Andreas, and especially the physics of GTA San Andreas, weren't, as we would say, realistic. So, I believe to these unrealistic engines, the unrealistic engine that's being used, you've got a lot of, you know, space to unfold your creativity. For example, you can put crazy things like a jetpack, or, you know, CJ jumping from one plane to another plane in a forward motion, meaning he's faster than the plane he's trying to catch.
Jump on a plane with a motorcycle?
Yeah, but we've got a new engine, GTA 4, the Rage engine. It's very smooth, very realistic. Each time you hit a person, it moves accordingly. You shoot him on the hand, he kind of flinches back, and if you shoot him on the leg, he drops. So it's quite realistic. And the graphics are realistic too, and the driving engine is realistic. So
what does this have to do with the story?
That means you have to have a realistic story, otherwise it wouldn't kind of fit in. You need to think about the entire package.
You know of Ballad of Gay Tony, right?
But, and I would like to come to that now since we're skipping a few points, if there are any points on the way. Ballad of Gay Tony had itself quite a whack premise. I mean, you're this Latino working for a gay club manager with all these...
Who's always on drugs.
Yeah. And you've got this colorful set of different people. So, of course, it's kind of possible to add a few funny things. You've got that crazy Arab, you know, Yusuf, Amir. But it really didn't go as far as you would say, okay, that is way too crazy, like, you know, jumping from one plane to another. In one mission you were in that helicopter destroyed that ship, that's realistic. You stole a subway card, illogical, but that's possible. However, what is totally off the norm would be if you're in a jetpack and trying to get some green goo from a traveling train, killing military personnel on the way. That is not crazy, that's freaking insane. So that wouldn't fit in. However, by its own merits, GTA 4 really kinda got the entire package well. And that's why I like both games equally well.
I don't.
Okay, why don't you?
It's not about the story, because it's not really as interesting to follow these characters as the previous ones. I like the truth, even the bad guy, the corrupt cop Tenpenny, is in my opinion a lot better than the corrupt cop in GTA 4.
Yeah, but he wasn't the main antagonist. He was
But
just...
still, he wasn't really, it's always the same. It's not, you go to a new city, it's always a guy who said, do missions for us, do missions for us. There's nothing happened. I mean, okay, you have Roma,
Yeah,
you
that's
have Brucey, they
GTA.
are fun, but the characters are not nearly as interesting and fun.
Well, I thought that they were fun. I mean, you would say, okay, only those guys in Blood of Gay Tony were funny. Like, you've got...
No, I think Brucey is funny.
Yeah, Bruce
Roma
is
is
funny.
quite funny,
Yeah.
I have to admit. Yeah, then I can't think of anyone. Okay, this
And what's the-
drunk, strange guy from
And
that family.
Patrick
Patrick
McGreer.
was. Yeah, look, I didn't even get their names because I didn't care. They were not nearly as interesting. I know Tenpenny, I know Pulaski. I don't know them. I don't care. I didn't interest me enough. Nico said there's a cop, you have to kill someone. 4,000 bucks.
Yeah, okay,
That is not.
that's GTA. You know, do missions, get your reward.
Yeah, but there's another problem. The story was a bit far-stretched, but it was okay, I could live with it. It still takes far too long to get going. But the main problem I have with GTA 4 is the missions. They are far too repetitive. You do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. You're always shooting some guys, every single time you have a chase sequence, and that's it. That's you always do for 90 boring missions, and GTA for me is a lot more than that. I mean, I understand that they try to be more realistic, but I have the feeling that if you're trying to be more realistic in GTA, the more boring the mission gets. I think even Lost and Damned was even more boring than GTA 4 because you do the same thing. You just travel with motorcycles and killing some people from another group. While in Ballad of Gay Tony you have these funny missions. You even push somebody on a helicopter and then jump right back into that he not die. There are not some funny or creative missions, even for realistic standards. It's always the same. I have the feeling you always do the same thing.
I think we've gotta admit that we both didn't like Lost and Damned. It was extremely boring, the characters were really bland. I mean, they've had a great opportunity in getting into this different world, you know, the world of the bikers.
Yeah, biker gangs,
But in the end it was quite boring.
and you didn't achieve anything really.
Yeah, we really don't want to spoil anything.
But it's not worth it.
Yeah,
As
the
it is for
end
us.
is... No, that's the general concept of GTA. You know, you are a loser in the beginning. You have no guns, no money, no assets. You've got jack shit. But over time, you get more assets, get more money, you get more guns, and you're the boss in the end. After the last mission, Tommy Vercetti in Vice City, he was the badass motherfucker. I mean, he accomplished everything.
Yeah, but there's another problem with GTA 4. Nico didn't have that. He
Yeah.
was the same, almost loser from the beginning to end.
He was
Even
quite, yeah, he was quite an interesting character, as and he had the motivation to go on and go on. But in the end, you know, actually you're in the top, you know, you've got no motivation other than, you know, sustaining that position, you know, keeping that position as the boss. But Nico pretty much said in the end, yeah, fuck it, you know. I've killed that guy.
Or not.
Yeah, that was cool, you know. You've got these choices that didn't have really a lot of consequences, but at
They were
times...
there. But
Yeah.
it was some fun that you have to
There were
choose to
fun
kill
addition.
certain people or not. But then, I mean, it still take far too long. But after this mission, he has nothing really.
Yeah,
I mean,
after the final mission, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I mean, Nico, we've been
threw him a lot.
yeah, through
Very-
it together, and in the end, you know, it's a slap in the face. He's like, okay, whatever. I mean, he achieved a few things. First, he was, you know, some immigrant who came from a boat with nothing. And now he owns like 2-3 apartments, has a lot of contacts. Okay, he achieved something, but he's not the boss. Like CJ, he was the boss
CJ.
in every single city he visited.
He was the boss in San Andreas. He took anything he wanted. Nobody can touch him. He did anything he wanted.
And Claude, every gang leader was dead in the end, so he was the
He
only
didn't
one
even
there.
say anything.
Yeah.
He just, if you say him, kill them, he just did it.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, screw the power of words.
Fuck
Bullets
it.
speak words, you know? Okay, in that case we have to say
I
No.
think
it was not a fulfilling ending. Except, you know, okay, GTA 4 ending, nah. Lost and Damned, horrible.
screw it.
Disaster. Everything you've worked for, gone. Blood of Gay Tony,
That's
that
ugly.
was the way to go. I mean, you had your clubs, you had your share of gang warfare, drugs, you've got, you know, a golden helicopter waiting for you
And the
in your
crazy
disposal.
guy helps you.
Yeah.
In the last mission.
God bless that crazy Arab.
Yeah, he was quite fun.
Yeah, he was wonderful. I mean, and I would like to say this, maybe it's quite controversial, but you know, you may be right by saying GTA San Andreas had a more interesting story than GTA 4. But if you see the way every single line of dialogue was written in GTA 4, I think they put more effort and every scene was just mwah, you know,
For
It
you,
was-
I just found them
was
both.
so refined. I mean, you were like, okay, when are you finally saying the mission objective? I want to kill people. I want this thing just, you know, over. But, you know, it's in the details where the devil lies. Or is. Because every line of dialogue is beautiful written. It was very smartly written. And I've had my fun just listening everything, you know.
Yeah, they were
Even
quite
if
fun.
there were just a few pedestrians, you know, saying something, it was still funny.
Yeah,
But
they had some funny lines, but overall,
the main, you know,
it's probably most for me the missions that are just too repetitive for me.
yeah, I mean, you're just thinking, oh man, I'm going to this place, I'm going to
Yeah,
cover.
that was the problem. I
kill
didn't even
people.
care what they
Yeah.
said because I didn't care. I didn't want to kill any more people, but you have to do this over and over and over
Yeah,
and
of course,
over again.
there's this stark contrast between this refined scene you've got before the mission, then this bland mission where you're just in cover.
I mean, they have
killing
some.
people.
They have some great presentation about the museum, for example, or
Yeah.
the rubber bank. But there are just few exceptions that are made rare. The others are just nothing really.
I thought that most of the missions and the spots where you were very interesting. I mean, you were in construction yards, you were in the subway, in a bank, and it always felt different for me because the location made a difference in the battle. You had to, you know, act accordingly.
for you a bit. For me, it was still the same. It doesn't